everybody, welcome to Avanico Technologies. Yesterday's video, we were seeing about the purchase process. In today's video, we're going to see about the inventory and stock management. So basically, what are different valuation method, how to transfer the stocks between one warehouse to the other warehouse, how to create different inventory cycles and recommendation, inventory counting and posting documents, and finally, how to manage the prices for each item. Let's get into the video. I have taken the OEC Computers Test Database. So in this video, we're going to talk about the concepts present in inventory module. So the first one in the inventory module is going to be the inventory valuation methods. So I have to go to the main menu. Under inventory, I'll take an item master data. I'll just take a recently created item. So in this item, when you check the inventory data, you can see that the valuation method is moving average, standard and FIFO. So using this valuation method, the item cost will be calculated. So moving average is where when you have an existing stock and when you bring in the new stock, the average of the two stocks price will be calculated and that will be kept as the item cost. The standard, as you all know, the first brought in cost price will be the standard cost. And FIFO is first in, first out. As the name suggests that the stocks which came in the first will have that price and the stocks which comes after that will have that price. So this item cost calculation will be very much useful while doing the sales process. So your COGS, which is hitting in your delivery, the COGS account which is hitting in the delivery will have this item cost value. So there are three valuation methods here. And if you have enabled the serial or batch number for this particular item, then the fourth valuation method will be serial or batch. So based on if we have given the valuation method as serial or batch, then through which serial number, then the serial number, then the item cost will be calculated in the GRPO from the serial number. Then while doing in the GRPO or the AP invoice, the item cost will be calculated from that based on the serial number. So if I'm trying to sell the same serial number, then the price for that serial number allocated will be taken into account. So on whole, there are four valuation methods in SAP Business One. The second concept in the inventory is the transfer of goods. So inventory transfer means transferring the warehouse. Inventory transfer means transferring the item from one warehouse to the other warehouse. Say for example, in my warehouse A, I have 10 quantity, whereas in warehouse B, there is no quantity, but I'm going to do the sales from warehouse B now. So for that purpose, I don't need to do the purchase from the vendor. Instead, I can transfer the goods from warehouse A to warehouse B. So there are two steps involved in this. So the first one being the inventory transfer request. So again, it is called a non-financial document. It will not have any inventory movement. It is similar as sales order in the sales process. So the second step and the mandatory document is going to be the inventory transfer. So that you can see under inventory transaction, inventory transfer request and inventory transfer. So if you have given the data in the inventory transfer request, then the same data can be copied to the inventory transfer. The business partner details is given here, but it is not required that you enter the business partner details. It is enough if you just select the from warehouse to warehouse and then enter the item details here. Say for example, I'm using the warehouse from 01 to, I'm going to shift it from warehouse FG to, I'm going to shift to warehouse 01. So I'm selecting the item which has stock in your FG warehouse. So I'm just selecting this item. So I'm changing the from warehouse into STR to two warehouses 01. I'm selecting an item. So I'm selecting this item and I'm giving the quantity as 20. So the stock now will be moving from the STR warehouse to the 01 warehouse. So if there is any remarks that you have to type in, you can type in there. And in the, as I told you already, the inventory transfer request is a non-financial document and it will only affect your committed and ordered status. It will not affect your in stock. So I'm just adding it. So the moment you add the transfer request, the committed stage will appear here. So as you can see in your item master data, you can see that in the 01 warehouse, the order is 20, which means that I am planning to move from store warehouse to the 01 warehouse. So the order is become 20 here. Whereas if you see the STR warehouse, the committed would be, there is so much of committed value. So now I'm copying this transfer request to inventory transfer, or again you can open the inventory transfer document and then use a copy from option. So I'm giving the inventory transfer. So bulk inventory transfer can be converted into a single inventory transfer document. So bulk inventory transfer request document can be converted into a single inventory transfer document. So now when I try to see the journal entry preview, you can see that raw material is getting credited and it is getting debited. So which means it's getting credited from one warehouse and debiting in the other warehouse. So now I'm adding the document. So after adding the document, when you check the previous data, you can see that the stock has been raised in your 01 warehouse. So that is the concept of inventory transfer request and inventory transfer. The third concept is going to be the inventory cycles. So basically, when you have so much of stock, so the third concept is going to be the inventory cycles and recommendations. So when you have a warehouse, you will definitely want to take stock often. So in that case, you can use the inventory cycles option. So that is present under administration, setup, inventory, and finally the inventory cycles. So here we have already created a cycle called CC1. So every month it occurs on the last date, 30th, and it has no end to it. So that is basically the inventory cycle. The next step is the cycle count determination. So in each and every warehouses, you should determine by which you have to do the counting process, through item group or through which process you can determine here. And when I just dig it into the 01 warehouse, you can see that for each and every item group, because here in the cycle by I've given item group. So here the item groups are getting displayed. So through which cycle code these items should be counted is where you give in the cycle count determination for this particular warehouse. So if you like say for example, some items you would like want to count every week, some items you would want to count every month, and some items and it is enough to count every year. So based on that the cycle will get varied. So based on that you can create as many cycles and then assign it here. And to which user are you going to assign the counting process to? So and that user, should they receive an alert message or not? So if you've given alert message yes, then you can choose which user you want to and you can give update. So that is the second step in the inventory cycles. This is the second step in the inventory counting process. And the third step is going to be the third step is going to be cycle count. The third step is going to be cycle count recommendation. So you can just select all the warehouses, or you can select any particular warehouse or location wise data. If you have any particular code, you can give it here, but you have to select the cycle code before. So I've just selected the cycle code. If there's any particular item, you can give it here, or if you just give OK, then all the items that's been recommended in this particular cycles will be displayed here. So for instance, I'm just selecting the first two items and then post it to the inventory counting. So now it takes to the fourth step called inventory counting. Here you can see that the items are given from which warehouses, how many quantities have been counted. So now I'm selecting these two items and then posting it to the inventory counting process. So here you can see that what are the items, how many quantities have been counted. If there is any in-warehouse quantity, it will get displayed here. And since it's been assigned to the user Neeraj Gupta, that particular person's name is assigned here. But there are possibilities that you can assign it to the multiple users as well. And now what I'm doing is I'm trying to add the document. And then what will happen is the particular person will count the document and then they will enter the values here. Say for example, the first item in the warehouse 01 is 0, whereas in this you have a stock of 2, which means there is a variance of 2. So now what we can do is we can copy this inventory counting data to the posting data, which means we have to send the stock to outside. Only then our physical inventory and our counted in, only then our physical inventory and the SAP inventory will get tallied. So now you can see that the two quantities is here. So now we will be able to, so now we can copy this inventory counting data to the inventory posting data. So like copy to option, the data present in the inventory counting will be posted to the inventory counting will be posted to the inventory posting data, and only the data with the variance in it will appear here. So now when you try to add the inventory posting document, now you can post the inventory. Now you can add the inventory posting documents. So when you've copied from the inventory counting to inventory posting data, only the lines which has variance in it will appear here. So now when I try to add the document, you can see that the stock has been pushed away. So this is a concept of inventory cycles, cycle count recommendation, cycle count determination, and finally the inventory counting and posting processes. The last concept in the item, the last concept in the inventory is going to be the price list management. So you have to go inside the inventory under main menu, price list, and you can see the price list. So when you see the price list, the standard prices will be available here. You can update the existing one or you can add new price list here. So when you go into each and every price list, you can see all the items getting displayed, and if there is any prices value, you can enter it here. So you can fix a default base price, and based on the base price, you can give the factor. So when you change the price in the base price, automatically the prices which has a default base price will get automatically changed. So that is the concept of the basic prices. Also, there is a wizard to update the prices where you can add or subtract or multiply the prices present. So that will happen, that will bulkily change or update all your prices. So here you can see in the price updated wizard, you can actually update the price for the items by either multiply, divide, add, subtract or equal to. So I'm just multiplying it by 2. And then in the next, you can select the items or the preferred vendor categories through which you're supposed to update the items. I'm just giving next. And here the price, which price list has to be updated here, whether the base price or discount purchase price, which has to be updated here, that you can select it here. And the last part is all the prices, current price, and since we have multiplied by 2, what is the suggested price? All will be displayed here. If you check everything and then give execute, then automatically all the prices will be updated. So this is the concept of price list and price updated wizard. Thank you.